Hello everyone. In this video, we'll see how to create the ledger. In order for the ledger creation, we need to look into the following steps. Manage legal address, manage legal entity, manage accounting calendars, manage primary ledger, assign legal entities, specify ledger options, assign balancing segment values to the legal entity, review and submit accounting configuration. So getting into the application, I'm navigating to setup and maintenance. So I'll change the functional area from compensation management to financials. So since I need to create the legal address, I'll get into the legal structures first. So I'll create the legal address. So I use the plus icon at the bottom to create the legal address. So let's say I want it in India, let's say. So address 1. So assets Hyderabad. So pin code is, let's say, okay. So I can select the pin code, maybe the state as well. Okay. So once you've done that, you can just give save and close. So I've done with the legal address. The next step is the legal entity. So going to the manage legal entity. So I need to create a new legal entity. So I'll just drop down and I've selected the scope as create new and apply and go to the task. So changing it to India. So my company is NV Services Limited. So legal entity identifier, let's say NSL. So just enabling the payroll, statutory unit and legal employer. So legal address. So that's NV building. So we can give the PAN and the legal reporting unit registration number. So given the PAN and the legal reporting registration number. So once you're done, so you have created the legal entity. Save and close. So the next step is to create the accounting calendar. So for which I'm getting into the functional area, functional financial reporting structure. So I'm getting into the manage accounting calendars task. So let me create a calendar here. So let's say it's NV underscore calendar. So let's say this from Jan to March, sorry, Jan to December. So let's say start date is 1/1/2019. So standard period frequency be monthly. So I want adjusting period frequency once a year. So once done, let me give it next. So I can add the years. So till whatever the periods that I want. Let's say if I want till 2022. So once you give save, so automatically add year option will be enabled. So I can add years till the periods that I need. So let me add till 2021 or 22. So just added the year. So I can see 20 populated. So I'll just give save. So 2020 has been populated. Let me add 2021. So once you add year, automatically you can see Jan 21, Feb 21, March 21, it's been populated. So you can save it. So once you're okay, you can save and close. So let me save and close here. So I've created the calendar. So if you want to query the calendar, so I can just give NV. So NV underscore calendar has been created. So let's proceed with the next step, where I need to create a ledger. So typically ledger is of courses. So in the general ledger, I'm going to the task called manage primary ledger in order for me to create NV ledger. So let's say this is NV primary ledger. So description is also the same. So I need to attach my chart of accounts to the ledger. So I've already created NV chart of account structure instance. Let me assign that. So accounting calendar will be NV calendar, which we just now created. So currency, I want this to be in USD. So I'm selecting the currency USD. Accounting method, we can stick to standard accrual. So I have assigned chart of accounts, calendar, currency, and accounting convention or method. So save and close. After creation of primary ledger, the next step is assign legal entity to your ledger. So here, let's enable all tasks so that I can assign the legal entities. So since the entity is legally registered, so let me assign. So let me select the scope paths, NV primary ledger. So I'm just querying here the ledger which we have just now created. So with NV. So NV primary ledger is the ledger which we have created. So save and close. So I'm selecting this and you need to give save and close so that you can assign the legal entities to your ledger. Okay, so this is a select and add button. So legal entity which we have created just now is NV Services Limited. So we have assigned the legal entity to the ledger. So once you assign, just give save and close. After that, you also complete the task next, specify ledger options. So primary ledger, so first open period, let us say Jan 2019, future interval periods is 1. If you want to have a different future interval periods, you can have it. So the general language, be US English, so which will be at the bottom. So I need to select the retained earnings account so that my year-end revenue and expenses will park in this account. So company B, NV Services, cost center. So let me query quickly here. So default as a cost center. So similarly the location default. So the natural account is a retained earnings account. So selecting the retained earnings. So future is default. So as per the business need, you can have your cumulative translation adjustment account. So other options like prevent general ledger period close when open subledger exists. So you can enable suspense rounding account on the threshold for the rounding. You can have other options enabled based on the business need. So currently I'm not enabling all these options. Save and close. So once you're done with, so I'm just changing the functional area one more time. So set up financials. So we are done with manage primary ledgers, assign legal entities, and specify ledger options. So the fourth step is I need to assign the balancing segment values to the legal entities. So the legal entity which I had in this ledger is NV Services Limited. So let me assign the balancing segment value. So how the company value is coming here, because for the chart of account value set company, NV company, you have assigned a segment label called primary balancing segment. So based on that, we could see the corresponding values. So attach the company value 11 here, 7 close. So we're done with assign balancing segment values to the legal entity. So assign balancing segment values to the ledger is optional. Okay, typically your non-legal entities, okay, you assign the balancing segment values to the ledger. Otherwise, it's not required. So once you are done with this, you need to submit the last step, which is review and submit accounting configuration. So let's try to see what we had. So system is able to tell us the legal entities, which is NV Services Limited, with a balancing segment value of 11. You can have one ledger, multiple legal entities, and also one legal entity with multiple balancing segment values. Here we had one-to-one relationship. So primary ledger, NV primary ledger, with regard to currency USD, chart of accounts NVCOASI, calendar NV calendar, accounting method standard accrual. So once you feel everything is right, you can submit the accounting configuration. So a process has been ran in the backend. You can navigate to schedule process and check whether it succeeded or not. Or else just give a minute and go to the task, manage primary ledgers, and check whether your ledger status has been changed from processed to active. Okay, so once you've done the review and submit a accounting configuration, you just navigate back to manage primary ledgers and just give maybe 1 minute. So just to check, see, now you see the status is in process. Just give a minute of time and let's see what is the status of this. So let us re-query this. Yeah, so now you see the status is confirmed, which means that your ledger is active, where users can transact the transactions. Now you can assign in the data access set for users with regard to the role general accountant and general accounting manager your ledgers and continue to do the transactions. Thank you everyone.